The highways of Texas stretch endlessly across deserts, plains, and storm-lit skies. On these roads, countless truckers carry loads from one city to another, their journeys blending into the rhythm of asphalt and time. But sometimes, a run that begins as routine can twist into something far more dangerous. This is the account of one such night, a journey northbound through Texas, where shadows followed the rig mile after mile, and the silence of the road gave way to something far darker. Stay until the very end, because the conclusion to this story is nothing like what it first seems, and it will leave a lasting mark.
Chapter 1. Lone Star Highways. I'd picked up my load in Laredo, right down near the Mexican border, frozen meat, packed tight inside the reefer trailer. My dispatch had me running north, up I-35, destination Dallas. Standard run. I'd done it more times than I could count. The sun was still burning hot when I pulled out of Laredo. You don't really know heat until you felt South Texas in August. The kind of heat that cooks the asphalt until it shimmers. My old Freightliner rattled against the wind, the dashboard thermometer reading 103 degrees. Sweat stuck to the back of my shirt, and the cab smelled faintly of diesel and stale coffee. As the miles rolled by, I kept thinking about the distance. Texas ain't like the small states back east. You can drive all day and still be in Texas. From the border up to Dallas, it's nearly 430 miles of asphalt, past ranch land, oil fields, dusty towns where the gas stations have more truckers than locals. By the time I hit Cotulla, the sun had started dropping, painting the sky in orange fire. Out there, the land stretches flat, mesquite trees, barbed wire fences, old barns collapsed on themselves. That's Texas, empty, wide, endless. But I didn't know then that somewhere on this long stretch, someone had already taken an interest in me. Chapter 2. Rest Stop Shadows. Outside San Antonio, I pulled into a Love's truck stop. The reefer was humming steady, and I figured I had enough hours to make Dallas before dawn. Still, I needed a break. A man can only live on bad coffee and highway lines for so long. The lot was buzzing with trucks, engines idling, drivers stretching their legs. I walked inside, grabbed myself a black coffee, no sugar, no cream, and one of those heat lamp burgers that taste like rubber but keep you moving. That's when I saw it. Parked on the far edge of the lot was a beat-up Chevy Suburban, no trailer, no plates I could see. The windows were tinted so dark you couldn't even catch a reflection. And the odd thing, the headlights weren't on, but I could feel someone was inside, watching. Truckers are used to eyes on them. Lot lizards, hustlers, even cops looking for easy citations. But this was different. The Suburban didn't move, didn't idle. Just sat there in the dark, staring at the trucks coming in and out. I didn't think much of it, not then. Just another shady rig parked in the shadows. But when I climbed back into my cab and pulled out onto the access road, I saw headlights flicker on behind me. And damned if they didn't belong to that same Suburban. Chapter 3. Back on the blacktop. The interstate was wide open that night. I-35 stretched north, long ribbons of concrete cutting through the dark. My trailer rumbled steady. My CB crackled with the occasional voice, truckers trading jokes, warnings about DOT checks up ahead, the usual chatter. But I couldn't stop checking my mirrors. That Suburban was still back there. Not close, not far, just keeping pace. Sometimes it'd fall back, headlights fading into the distance. Then 20 minutes later, there it was again, creeping closer. You get a feeling in your gut when something ain't right. Truckers call it road sense. And my road sense was screaming. I tapped my brakes once, watching. The Suburban tapped theirs too. Now I knew. Whoever was inside wasn't just going the same direction, they were following me. I turned up the CB. Any of y'all northbound out of San Antone? Got a tailback here. Black Suburban, no plates. Keeps hanging on me. For a while, nothing. Then a voice came back, gravelly and tired. Yeah, driver, seen him before. Been sniffing around trucks on this stretch. Word is they're cartel scouts. Watch yourself. Cartel. The word hit like ice water down my spine. Chapter 4. Storm. Over Waco. By the time I rolled past Austin, clouds had begun to gather. Thick, black, heavy with rain. Texas storms don't ask for permission. They hit fast and hard. The first raindrops smacked my windshield like stones. Then came the downpour, a curtain of water blinding out everything. Wipers worked overtime, but it was useless. Lightning tore across the sky, painting the road in split-second flashes of white. Traffic slowed to a crawl. Hazard lights blinked like fireflies, and still, behind me, that Suburban held steady. No matter how the rain came down, no matter how slow the highway got, they stayed on me. My hands gripped the wheel so hard they ached. Every flash of lightning seemed to reveal their outline, closer than before. My rig groaned under the strain of the wind, and the thunder rolled so loud it rattled my mirrors. This wasn't just bad weather anymore. It was a hunt. Chapter 5. The Roadside Encounter. North of Waco. The storm began to thin, leaving the pavement slick and shining under the high beams. A way station sign appeared. Mandatory stop. I eased my rig onto the ramp, brakes hissing as I pulled up. The inspection was quick. Standard paperwork, trailer check, axle weights. I signed off, climbed back into the cab, and when I glanced toward the exit, there it was. That same black Suburban, parked just outside the way station, windows dark, engine idling, waiting. I stared for a long moment, heart thudding in my chest. They wanted me to know they were there. No hiding, no pretending. This was intimidation, and it was working. Chapter 6. Midnight Call. Back on the road, I keyed up the CB again. Breaker 19. Anyone northbound past Waco, keep your eyes peeled. Got a Suburban tailing me since San Antonio. They're camped outside way stations. Storm or no storm. Feels like hijack territory. Silence. Then a different voice cut through, shaky but serious. Driver. I seen that same ride. Tried to crowd me off 45 last week. Didn't stop until I hit a lit truck stop. Be careful. These boys don't play. I swallowed hard. My chest felt tight. I thought about my family back in Houston, about how many truckers never make it back from simple runs. The road stretched ahead, dark and endless, and somewhere behind, death was pacing me mile for mile. Chapter 7. The Empty Overpass. Near Hillsboro. I-35 split wide under an old, crumbling overpass. The Suburban made its move. Out of nowhere, it gunned forward, headlights blinding, swerving hard toward my rig. They were trying to force me onto a deserted exit ramp. My tires screamed, trailer fishtailing, as I fought the wheel. Air brakes hissed, the whole rig shaking. Lightning cracked overhead, lighting up that abandoned stretch of concrete like a stage. For a moment, I thought it was over. My trailer tilted, my cab swayed, and I saw the guardrail rushing up. But somehow, by sheer will, I yanked the rig back onto the blacktop. The Suburban stayed on me, relentless. Chapter 8. Face to face. I couldn't outrun them forever. My fuel gauge was dipping, my hours of service burning out. I pulled under an abandoned overpass, praying for a moment to regroup. That's when they blocked me in. The Suburban slid sideways across the road, headlights glaring, doors opened, and 3 men stepped out, dark shapes, moving with purpose. One carried a tire iron, another something longer, a shotgun, maybe. They spread out, moving toward my cab. Rain pounded the roof. My reefer hummed steady. My heart was beating so loud I could barely hear myself think. I knew then this wasn't random. This was a hijacking, and I was the prize. Chapter 9. The Escape. I locked the doors, shoved the rig into gear, and laid on the air horn. The blast shook the night, echoing under the overpass. The men froze for half a second, just enough. I floored it. The Freightliner roared, tires spitting water. My bumper caught the edge of the Suburban, crunching metal as it spun. My trailer wobbled, but I kept steady, barreling back onto the highway. In my mirrors, I saw them scrambling, lights spinning, the Suburban twisted sideways. Then, faint but growing louder, came sirens. Red and blue lights cut through the storm. Somewhere ahead, a Texas DPS cruiser had seen the chase. I didn't stop. Not until Dallas. Not until I knew I was safe. Chapter 10. Dawn in Dallas. The first rays of sunlight broke as I hit the outskirts of Dallas. My rig rolled steady into the delivery dock, brakes sighing as I finally came to a stop. I sat there for a long time, hands trembling on the wheel, watching the sunrise creep over the city skyline. That night, I realized just how fragile life on the road can be. 1 minute, you're hauling frozen meat up a highway. The next, you're fighting for your life against shadows that hunt truckers. Texas highways are long, lonely, and unforgiving, and sometimes they're lethal. I live to tell the story. Many don't. So next time you're out there, late at night, and you see a pair of headlights that just won't quit your mirror, remember me. And remember that not all dangers come from the road itself. Some dangers come from what waits in the dark.
As the first light of dawn touched Dallas, the driver's rig rolled into safety. The night behind him, but never forgotten. It was a reminder that Texas highways can turn from lonely to lethal in the blink of an eye. Stories like this are carried from one trucker to another, whispered at rest stops and way stations, warnings of what waits in the dark. And this story, like so many others, proves that the open road always holds its secrets. The ending may surprise, but the truth is even heavier. Every mile has a story, and many more remain to be told.